Good morning, everybody. I got some more stuff coming for you, a couple more guest speakers, and then remember, I will not be hosting these in November and December, and then probably not January because that's kind of still open enrollment and getting our brains back from working stupid hours. So stay tuned. But today, one of my lovely friends that I don't know if she's on yet, Jill, introduced me to Lucy because Lucy has a product and a service that can help our clients. And I'm always about trying to help reduce their costs, save them from medical debt, and kind of importantly, making sure they will take their prescriptions. Medicare, which this isn't Medicare, but Medicare has a thing called the donut hole, and people would take their medication, they hit the donut hole where they had to pay 100% of their prescription, and they would just stop taking their medication. And insulin was one of them. It typically was around October, November. They would just hit that donut hole and they would just go, can't afford it, and they would just stop. And I still don't understand that because, they make insulin by the 50-gallon barrels, but there's Jill. So this is kind of near, and my father's a diabetic. He's actually lost some toes. I mean, I see the neuropathy and things that do that. So when Jill introduced me to Lucy, I was like, oh, this is kind of near and dear to my heart. And we all have clients that have diabetes. It's there. So Lucy, I've got a couple questions for you. I wanted to know, how long have you been in the insurance world?
A very long time. Before I came to Advanced Diabetes Supply, where we specialize only in diabetes, I was always in the physical therapy field. So yeah, working with insurances for a very long time. Now, I'm not a specialist on insurance. Thank God we have a whole department that handles that. And I know that once people go into the Medicare, the rules change. I've learned that I've been with ADS for about 5 years, a little over 5 years. And it's near and dear to me too. I had a dad who was a diabetic, and so I get it. When I talk to these members, I hear them. And so for me, it's kind of like I'm serving them, and I get it, and it's to me a little additional service providing to my dad when I wasn't so nice and got mad at him every time he ate all those things he wasn't supposed to. His
That's
blood
right.
sugar would
Yeah.
skyrocket.
Put that chocolate ice cream down, Dad. Oh, my blood sugar's low.
But I'll use sweet and low on my coffee.
So because you're doing something that is helping people reduce money, do you have like kind of a crazy success story, or like that aha moment that why you've stayed with ADS for so long?
Yes, because I found that there are a lot of lives out there that really can use some assistance. What I love about ADS is that they are all about serving the client or serving the member, making them happy, making sure that they have what they have. As far as I'm concerned, they are all urgent accounts. It's diabetes. They need their supplies. They need their supplies right away. And so we do a lot of things that most retail pharmacies don't. Like, you can send over a client that needs supplies right now. Maybe their meter's not working, or they just found out that they're a diabetic. They have no supplies they can't afford. We will send them a courtesy kit until we can get the paperwork from the doctor's office and make sure that they're able to do what they're supposed to do while we get that, and maybe verify the insurance and all that, which sometimes can take a few days. Doctor's offices, some are really fast at responding, some aren't. We have a whole department. That's all they do is verify or call doctor's offices to collect paperwork. They're chasing paper all day. We got, a lot of
people. As a physical therapist, you were on the opposite side, chasing paperwork, trying to come on insurance. So yeah, we all know what that's like. So
prescription, we can't submit their supplies, so that's right. That's something that's really important. It's urgent.
Right. So yeah, if you want to share your screen and take it away and show us.
Okay, sounds good. So are you focusing only on ACA? Yep. Or everything? Oh, it only is ACA. I didn't know that. We just opened the doors to taking the ACA members in, because I've been working with so many agents for so many years that they're like, Lucy, there's so many lives that need our help. I don't know where to send them. What do we do with them? And as we started doing this just a few months back, I mean, we've been doing Medicare for over 25 years dealing with diabetes, but
now Medicare is kind of getting
the ACA. It's just case by case because of the coverage.
The new rules for Medicare is going to change, and on the marketplace, We can have people with 9,000 out of pocket, you know, and
Right.
it's
And so that's
crazy.
why we're taking them case by case, because if there is a
Yeah.
copay, whatever the copay is, we will let them know and see if it's something they can afford. Sometimes there are no copays or very low and they're good to go.
Right.
Okay, so good morning, everybody. Coach Chris, thank you so much for having me on. I see that there are a lot of people here from all over the states. We do service nationwide. We have national contracts. We provide services for all the major plans. We are a Medicare pharmacy and we recently opened to ACA. So any of you that are insurance agents writing the ACA product. So let's go into our agent support program. That's what we do. And I am Lucy Niquet with Advanced Diabetes Supply. All right, so a little bit about us. What is ADS and who am I? So the agent support program works. And how the agent support program works. It's funny because I do this all the time and now I'm reading things and I'm jumping around. Okay. And how you can take advantage of this program now. This is how it works. Let me get rid of all this stuff. Somehow it's on the wrong screen. So what is ADS? We are a diabetes supply pharmacy and we work directly with Medicare agents. We are a nationally accredited pharmacy by multiple organizations. We were founded in 2002, so we are basically your experts in diabetes. That's all we do. That's our wheelhouse, diabetes. And who am I? So I am your point of contact. My territories are Texas and California, but as I just mentioned, we have a point of contact for you for whatever part of the state of the country you are in. I specialize in Medicare coverage for diabetic supplies, and my focus is to support you to improve retention and increase your referrals. So how the agent support program works, you find your clients with diabetes, you send their info over to ADS, and we take care of the rest. Basically, we are a concierge service for the agent, full service. This is what we do. It's that easy. And before I forget, we provide this service to you and your members at no cost. Now let's break down how this works. Finding your clients with diabetes. So these are maps that we have from the CDC showing the propensity of diabetes on the rise. So as you see on the left, the blues are not so blue. And as we continue through the years, the blue is getting darker and darker. And that is the propensity of diabetes. It's not going away. And unfortunately, they are getting younger. And the statistics show that out of every 3 Medicare beneficiaries that you meet, 1 is a diabetic for sure. So how do we figure that out?
That is a lot of blue. Like
that is a
crazy.
lot.
That's a lot of blue.
Yes.
That's just the Medicare. That's not even showing the under 65, which is
correct.
Even more.
So how do you find them? How do I know who's a diabetic without maybe looking at their list, or maybe you just met a new member and you might be signing them up for whatever plan they need, ACA or Medicare or what have you. The secret is you ask everyone, do you check your blood sugar at home? That's it. If they say yes, that's somebody that we can certainly service for you. It's that easy. Remember, 1 in 3 will say yes, and that's who we can help for you. Sending a client to ADS, what does that look like? Here's where the magic happens. You get your client's permission to send their contact over to ADS, and we call them for you. I'd like to get you set up with Advanced Diabetes Supply. They are a pharmacy of diabetes. They help my clients who test their sugar. Is it okay I have them call you to take care of your supplies? And then they say, yes, that would be great. You're an amazing agent. Thank you. I'm going to send you all my friends and family so you can help them with their Medicare and ACA too. That's how it works. Now, remember, you're not just sending them over. We will always reference your name as an agent. We always let them know, hey, Janet, Christina George, your insurance agent, asked me to give you a call to get you set up for your home delivery of diabetes testing supplies. All our calls come from a specific number. We are in 2 locations, but all calls come from California. It's that 760 area code number. We always tell agents, if you're going to refer somebody over, make sure they save that number as safe to answer, because as we know, a lot of members don't want to answer calls they don't recognize, and I'm sure they're being bombarded with spam calls and all that. So that's what we do. We will call them. We will mention your name. We are calling on your behalf so they know, and we get them set up for their home delivery. So that's the number that we're going to reach them from. We have a pharmacy in California and also in Florida so that we can quickly send out supplies to all the members that we service. So what ADS handles for the client next? After we make contact with them, we let them know we're going to send a prescription to their doctor's office via fax. We will verify their insurance, and then we're going to call them and let them know, okay, Mr. Smith, we've got your prescription. This is what your insurance shows. We let them know where everything stands. We ship supplies directly to your client's house or their PO box or wherever they want us to send it, as long as they're in the United States, and it's free of shipping. So what supplies do you, sorry, that went a little too fast. What supplies can you send my clients? Let's take a look at the types of hardware ADS carries. So just so we know, we are a durable medical equipment pharmacy. So we're not servicing the meds. We service all the hardware that they need. Now, you don't have to remember all of this stuff that I'm going to show you. As I mentioned, this is our wheelhouse, and you truly can just send your clients over to ADS. If you know nothing about diabetes or supplies, you still win big. So these are your traditional supplies. These are your glucose meters. We carry many, many brands. These two tend to be the top two that are covered through insurance plans. So we make sure that they are getting a formulary meter so that there is no out-of-pocket cost. And this is where we sometimes have a lot of problems. It's a very common call that I get almost on a daily. Lucy, my member, went to the local pharmacy. They took in their prescription. They were charged a copay. That's for the meter. And then every month they have to have strips that match the meter. And some people are paying $40, $60, even up to $120 for strips. It's outrageous. Understand that I know that a lot of you maybe are not doing Medicare, but under Medicare, these are Part B covered items. They should almost always have a zero copay. That's the meter, strips, the lancing device, everything they need to poke their finger and check their blood sugar is almost always zero copay for Medicare beneficiaries, and all clients that are living with diabetes qualify for this product. Now comes the very new popular continuous glucose monitors, the Freestyle Libre and the Dexcom. These are the sensors that you wear on the back of your arm or on your belly. It's amazing technology for diabetes management and quality of life. And Medicare costs range for, and remember, I'm always going to mention Medicare because that's who we are first, but we do take care of ACA. I think a lot of this is very similarly how we are providing services to your members. We still have to go through the whole same process. The Medicare costs range anywhere from 0 to 20%, depending on the plan. $50 a month. It could be approximately $50 a month for those that have Medicare coverage. Now, here's the important part. You've got a lot of members that are going to be asking for this device. Anyone who is living with diabetes that is a Medicare recipient or is of the age is covered through their plans. It's the eligibility that matters. They must be insulin dependent. These are CMS guidelines. Your member must be on insulin, even if it's once a day. They must be injecting once a day, not oral medications. Those do not qualify as insulin. They must be injecting, or your client must have a recurring history of hypoglycemic events, and that means that their blood sugar drops below 54. Anyone who has had an experience of this will tell you stories about how horrible it was because it's something they won't forget. With diabetes, they have to be within a certain range. If it's too low, it can be very dangerous. If it's too high, it could be very dangerous. And sometimes people end up in the hospital because of this. So there are records when we request the prescription and the medical records from the doctor's office, and medical records meaning maybe the last 2 doctor visits, there will be notes there showing that the member has either had a glycemic event, hypoglycemic event, or that they are, in fact, injecting insulin. So this is information that we must provide to the insurance to cover for these devices. We also service insulin pumps. So the Medtronic and Tandem brand are very popular. These are usually Part B pumps. Those are reservoirs and cartridges. They hold the insulin, the infusion sets, are tubes that deliver the insulin. There are usually Part B copay amounts. Again, all of these are covered under Part B. They all have a different copay based on the plan. And again, when we verify insurance for any of these ACA members, we're going to let them know what the copays are, if there's anything we can do to assist, and we go from there. So if they're able to afford, great. If they're not, we will move forward and figure out what we can do. So these are part,
Hey,
yeah.
Lucy, Jill had a question.
Okay.
What is level 2 and 3?
So on the part level 2 and 3, meaning on these, on the Omnipod.
Lucy, go back 2 slides.
One more.
One
Yeah.
more slide.
All right. This one?
Right there, level 2, level 3, singular level 3 hypoglycemic event. What do you know anything about that? What it constitutes level 2 or a singular level 3?
So I believe what we mean by that is that they have to have a history, you know, that it's happening all the time. It's not just a one-time deal. You know, I've got members that are gung-ho, they want to get that Libre and they're going to get the Libre, and I'm tired of poking my fingers and I'm not going to do anything else. But when we tell them, are you injecting insulin? No, I just don't want to poke my fingers anymore. Well, have you ever had a history of your sugar dropping below 54? Oh yeah, my sugar dropped, but it's not usually a 54, maybe a 60, which is still low. But these are the guidelines that we have to follow. These are the guidelines that are provided. And this is what we have to follow in order for the insurance to cover. So we want to make sure that the member is very clear on what we're trying to help them with. Some of them get a little upset because they have their heart set on this. And I usually have to let them know, we're going to do all our best that we can. But if it all comes back that, you know, the insurance isn't going to cover, you're still going to have to check your blood sugar. We can still provide you with a meter and strips because you have to check your blood sugar. So
Lucy,
yes.
yes, I think the number 2 needs to be defined. Like what I think it sounds like it is a level, a laboratory, or some kind of a number, like what you said earlier, below a certain number. So maybe that would be helpful.
Sure. What it says is a level 2 is when the blood glucose is less than 54. So they've had reoccurring. So they're constantly going below 54. Or a singular event where a person is unable to function because their mental and physical changes are due to low blood glucose. So that's the difference between a level 2 and level 3. So
thank you so much.
Yep. So level 3 means it's almost like they're incognitive. Anybody who's had a diabetic, an insulin diabetic who has seen that where they're crazy low blood sugar, like, whoa, something's really wrong. They're at 30. You'll know exactly what we're talking about. They get lethargic. They can't make decisions. That's that level 3. And then level 2 is where it's constantly going below 54.
Yeah, and I can tell you from experience, I used to check on my dad occasionally. He was a diabetic. He'd get busy doing stuff and wouldn't eat for hours. And I'd find him sitting there shivering, sweating, and pale. Blood sugar dropped too much, you know, immediately you got to have some orange juice, a blood glucose tablet, whatever, to bring their sugar back up. It's crazy. It's shivering, cold sweats. And that's why I said most members who tell you they've had these events can tell you some sort of story because it's something that is very, very uncomfortable and scary. All right, I'm going to go ahead and move it along. We were talking about the insulin pumps. We service those as well. These are Part B items. These are Part D items. A lot of people want this Omnipod. This is the one and only very elusive insulin pump. Most carriers don't actually show the name as a covered pump. Agents will have to go onto different websites to get information on this. This is one of those that can be a Part Tier 3 or Tier 4. Depending on insulin use, it will put them in the donut hole and then the catastrophic coverage. It can be expensive. It's not impossible, but it's one of those that's very expensive. And the only reason it's a Part D is because it is disposable. This little patch right here that collects or has the insulin in it gets filled with insulin. When they use it up, they remove it and put a new one on. So it also depends on how much insulin they're going through. Okay, that's a lot of info. Let's take a step back and remind ourselves of the big picture. You have clients with diabetes. We call them for you. We make you look like a rock star in their eyes. We send them their diabetic testing supplies. We do this at no cost to help grow your business and retain your clients. And in case you're still on the fence, last year alone, over 5,000 agents nationwide chose to use ADS services for the clients with diabetes. We are the industry's gold standard, so we're kind of excited about that. So how do I start today? For agents new to ADS looking to get value right away, we recommend for all new enrollments, begin asking, do you check your blood sugar at home? Yes? Send them over. If you want to review your last 3 to 6 months of enrollments for clients with diabetes, we can begin supporting them right away. You can use your smartphone. Whoops. That QR code is a secure link. That information will come directly to me and we will get that member set up so we can call them on your behalf. That's the refer a client link. And as I mentioned, there's a lot of you here scattered all over the states. So if you'd like, just get a hold of me and I can put you in contact with who your point of contact is. The way it works for us is wherever you live or your mailing address is, that's who your point of contact is. Because I do have agents that work that write different states, but if they're sitting like in California or Texas, I am their point of contact. It doesn't matter what part. So we want to keep it as simple as possible. So I would say take advantage right now. If you'd like, text me your name and your email address, and then I will connect with you afterwards. And with that, I guess I can open up to any other questions you might have.
So yeah, so
I
now
have-
with any questions that you have.
Yes, please. I just wanted to ask, so for those who are currently my clients already in Medicare, so I don't know who may be taking the blood sugar at home, who's trying to find them. How do you suggest I go about asking about that? Can I just
Ask them, do you check your blood sugar at home? That's it.
Okay.
If they
okay.
say yes,
Mhm.
then that means, you know, with some members, they don't mind talking about diabetes. Some people, there's a little shame behind being diabetic and they don't want anybody to know. In the past, I know that agents will look at their list of medications and usually can identify, oh, I see you're taking this. Are you checking your blood sugar at home? Are you living with diabetes? So in order to avoid having to skirt around the question, it's just easier to say, are you checking your blood sugar at home? If they are, that means their doctor has told them that they need to check their blood sugar. They're living with diabetes and we can service them.
And you
So
can
I was-
also
yeah,
do a quick
I-
thing out saying to all of your current clients, hey, if you can just, it's a mass
Email.
contact. Hey,
Yeah.
we have something that can help you if you're struggling to pay for your medical supplies. Or your, not medical supplies, your
Diabetic testing supplies.
diabetic supplies.
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
let them reach out. And so you can say, here, can I send them your information? So I know
You're
Cynthia-
you're suggesting that because I was thinking about that. I will just send an email to all of them and ask who's checking their blood sugar at home, if they can reach out to me, something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you could even ask, by the way, if you are living with diabetes, are you getting your supplies and are you paying for them? Because
That
a
is
lot of
great,
people
yeah.
are paying for stuff that sometimes they should not be paying for. And this is, like I mentioned earlier, I don't know if you were on from the beginning, but this is a very common call that I get. Pharmacies are busy doing a lot of stuff. It's not their fault. You're going to go in there with your prescription. They're going to take off the shelf whatever it is that they have on hand. They're going to send it to you. And there's the copay because it may not be a formulary meter or formulary item covered through the insurance. We make sure that doesn't happen. We look at the coverage. We look to see what is covered so that they have no out-of-pocket cost. We want to make sure that they're happy from the get-go and we don't end up with, you know, upset clients and saying, you told me this was covered, they're charging me. And, you know, we want to avoid all that and make sure that they're happy and taken care of right off the bat.
So Cynthia, you have a question?
Yeah, I'm wondering who you're contracted with for ACA carriers. Do you know that?
Yes, so we are contracted with all the major carriers nationwide, and those nationwide contracts include the IFP product, United Healthcare, Aetna. So there's only 2 carriers that we're not in network with, and that is Humana and Devoted. So other than that, we're pretty much in contract with most all major carriers. I know that some states have small regional plans. We can always check. It's not a problem, but overall, pretty much most carriers we are working with, and we have national contracts. And if the IFP product is part of that contract or part of what they offer, I understand through our contracting people that we are able to service them. So either way, you can send them over. We're going to verify insurance. And if there's an issue or it's something that we cannot service, we're going to let them know right away. And we'll also send you an email. Thanks for referring, Mr. Smith. Unfortunately, we're not in network with this. And we will always let a patient know who to call, or, you know, as far as refer them back to their insurance carrier, call your insurance carrier on the back. Here's their phone number. Ask them who the in-network provider is if it's something that's not in network.
And they've been doing
Okay.
ACA relatively, what'd you say, in the last 2 months? So it's
last couple of months, because
right. So
we
it's
kept
kind of
getting
growing
these
with
calls.
the
Yeah.
ACA world. I'm sure that their back end people will be happy to reach out. Hey, in Wisconsin, we've got this company. In Tennessee, we have this one. So I know somebody just said Blue Cross of Blue Shield of Alabama is a bugger. Are you contracted with them? You know, so you know, if you've got a carrier who's like, hey, this is the #1 in Montana, let Lucy know and she'll let her contract people know, because
Exactly. Yeah.
There-
And that's why I'll put you in contact with your point of contact, because we
Yeah.
all service different parts of the state, and we know, like, talk to me about Texas. I'll give you information all day long. Ask me about Montana. I have no idea.
right. You got a company,
Should
or
I-
you got people to do that in the company.
But we've got people to do that, and your point of contact usually is very aware of what plans are covered and what's yeah. So that's why you have us.
Any other
Okay, so I'll reach out,
questions,
like,
Cynthia?
I have Ray, so I just reach out to him and find out in
Ray
the state of
Olson. Yes.
Arizona.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Lucy, do y'all still send out a handful of kits to agents to give to people?
Yes, we can certainly do that. We just ask that if we're going to send you some kits, please remember it is currency. You know, they cost us money. We just hope that you're going to give it to someone who is paying or needs something right now, and you would refer to us. I mean, that's, you know, we would only ask that as a favor.
Okay.
Otherwise, you know, everybody'd be asking us for
Sure.
kits, and we'd be supplying the states, and we just at least would like to be able to service them ourselves.
Okay, great.
Jill?
Thanks.
All right, Jill, you have a question?
Yeah, thanks, Chris. Real quick, Lucy, on what do you feel like on average, what is the feedback you get on how much money you're saving members? I know ACA is new, but you probably can project a little bit from what you have for Medicare. Do you get the feedback like, wow, it made a huge difference, or it's not bad, or not really a great savings, but the convenience is wonderful? What kind of feedback do you get?
Yeah, so I've been trying to keep an eye, and right now with AEP coming around, it's been difficult to keep my finger on the pulse of everything that goes on, just because I'm starting to travel a lot. But I have been keeping an eye. I have been able to service members who said that they were paying way too much or couldn't afford it, and we actually helped them out. Some of them didn't have a copay. At one point, they were being charged copays that they couldn't afford. So convenience for sure, because we're shipping it to their door. They don't have to go anywhere to pick it up. It comes to them. And there are some that were going to pharmacies where they were being told straight up that they are not serviceable, either under their plan, where they found out that they certainly are. And so we were able to help them. So, you know, I mean, this is what we want to do. We want to make sure that the member is happy and that we're able to provide the best service that we can. And that's really what we do. You know, it's based on customer service. It's really a high level of service to the members so that they're happy.
Any other questions? I know somebody asked, Scott said, can we get an email listing your services and advantages that you send out, that we can send out to our book of business? So I am going to include, and she's got it on here, the email. You know, email her out. So do you have like a brochure? Here's what we can help with, something that's just a simple one page that we can send out, or have in our
Absolutely.
office?
Yeah, we've got some nice flyers. I can send that over to Christina, or if you reach out to me, I can send it out. We have flyers that are geared towards the agents so that you know what it is that we can do to help you. And then we have some that are geared towards the member so that they have information there based on how we can service their testing and, testing needs and management of their diabetes.
All right.
Thank you.
Patty's
Yeah,
so
you're
excited.
welcome.
She
Thank
already
you. I'm
sent
really
you a
happy to be
text
here.
message, Lucy. So you're you're already, and you're going to get emails. So thank you very much, everybody. Thanks, Lucy, for coming on.
Thanks
as
for
I
having me.
said, this is kind of near and dear to my heart. We all know people that
Yes.
are diabetic. So
And honestly, we are here to be a reliable resource. I get calls from agents all the time, just asking questions. It's all good. I mean, I would love for you to send me all your business, but if all you need is information, hey, is this Part B? Is it Part D? Is it covered? Are they eligible? Do you know which plans might cover this? We're happy to help. That's what we're here to do. We want to help the agents navigate diabetes because eventually, they will be using us to help them out because I've got agents that know nothing about diabetes. They don't want to know. They just know that if they send them over, their clients are going to be taken care of. And they always send me, thank you so much. So-and-so was very happy. You really took good care of them. That's what we want to do.
So that's what I mean about when I said they'll help with anybody, any kind, send it to them. Even if they're like, here's your carrier. They may even go, yeah, your insurance is, we don't have a contract, but they're sending you, you're at the pharmacy, you're getting the wrong thing, right?
Yeah.
You're still going to get help, even if it's a direction of where they can do. Don't be afraid to send them out. And you don't, in none of these things as agents, we should know, we should not be making firm promises. You call them and you'll never have to pay for another thing. Well,
Right.
don't say that.
I promise you're going to get that Libre and they're not on insulin.
Don't say that. But you can say, hey, you're telling me you're checking your blood all the time. Can I have these people call you just to make sure that you're getting the best thing you can? That's all you need to say. So,
and we'll verify. And if we can help them, great. And if we can't, we'll tell them what to do next.
Right.
And we're not going to switcheroo on the agent. We don't do any of that. Remember, we are here to provide a service. We're here to hold hands with the agent and take care of their clients so that they're happy. That's what we do.
There was one question I almost missed that said, so how is this free? So I guess, how are you guys getting paid?
Well, we just get paid by being able to provide the service to the member. We bill the insurance, and that's how the pharmacy makes money. That's how we make money, is by providing the service, having the clients to be able to serve.
So just
That's
like
it.
us, we're free, but we get paid by the insurance. They're free, but
Exactly,
they
for
get paid on the
signing
back.
them up. Yeah.
So
That's how it's free. We want to support. We want to help out so that you can send their business and everybody is happy.
all right. Sure. So, well, let me close off and then Donna, you can ask your question. So thank you very much, Lucy. I appreciate you coming in.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
And, especially because you just came from a conference yesterday and you're on. I appreciate that. And